Welcome back on Kansas Sports Chatters. Time now for our Hall of Fame Spotlight. This is a chance where we get to shine the lights on one of the many inductees over the years from the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. And to help us out with the segment, we bring in Jeff Bollig. He's the vice president for the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors. How are we doing today, Jeff?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you coming on and your wealth of knowledge just for the state of Kansas in general, but specifically for high school sports. Excited to have these conversations with you throughout the year. Let's get right to it, though. We've had so many inductees over the years, but this is a very recent one that was just recently inducted into this year's class. Bobby Randall, a guy from Norton, Kansas, played at Gove High School, now known as Wheatland. This guy could play some baseball.
Bobby was an outstanding athlete, really. And, you can't get any more Kansas than Bobby Randall. He moved at a young age to Gove, and Gove did not have a football team. So he had to play baseball. They did that in the fall and the spring. He's also a very good basketball player. And actually, Bobby was drafted by the Dodgers twice, early in high school and just coming out of high school. But he said he wasn't ready, and he went to Kansas State, and he played basketball as a freshman for Bill Guthridge. And Bill Guthridge was the longtime assistant coach for North Carolina for Dean Smith, and Bill was from Parsons originally. And the only reason he got the scholarship, Tex Winter came to visit him in high school and asked him if he could dribble behind his back and through his legs. And he showed him he could. So Bobby got a $300 scholarship. So, he parlayed that into 1 year of basketball as a freshman, then played through his junior year, was an all Big 8 player in the wood bat era, I mentioned, and then went on to get drafted a third time by the Dodgers, and went on playing minor league. The Dodgers 7 years, and then 5 years for the Twins. And after that, went on to coach baseball, first as an assistant at Iowa State, then as the head coach at Kansas, and then lastly at Manhattan Christian. So Bobby's had a long career of baseball and a long life in Kansas, and it was great to induct him.
Well, it's cool. I mean, you talk about what he was able to do in high school in Kansas, but even you look at K-State, I mean, some of his batting average records, like those are still in the top five in KSU history right now.
You're right. Like I said, wood bat era, I think is his average. I think he had the top average for a long time. He may be second now, but he was a good infielder, a hard worker, and put the bat on the ball. And, a little different back then. You didn't play quite as many games. We didn't have ESPN. We didn't have the internet, so not a lot of people knew about him. But interestingly enough, back in that era, small town baseball was big. Rookie league baseball, for example, there was the Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri League, KOAM, and that was Class D rookie league baseball. And it was Chanute, Pittsburgh, Independence, Bartlesville, Carthage, Missouri. That's the league where Mickey Mantle got started. So, baseball was America's pastime because it was played in all these small little towns. And so you could be found. And of course, Bob was found by a scout from Great Bend, John Keenan. And the Dodgers were good about finding Kansas athletes. That just prior to Bob being drafted, they had Bill Russell from Pittsburgh, Davey Lopes, who played at Washburn. One of their coaches, a longtime coach for Lasorda and Walter Alston, and he coached in the minors, was Monty Baskell. Monty was from Pfeiffer, Kansas, just a little east and south of Hazen, Victoria in Ellis County. And so there was a large Kansas influence on the Dodgers, interestingly enough. And so John Keenan got Bobby signed, and the rest is history. He played for the Dodgers. He played many years in the minors. He was really close, but when you're behind Ron Say and Bill Russell and Lopes and Steve Garvey, it was just bad timing. So the trade to Minnesota was fortuitous for him, and he was sitting behind Rod Carew, the great hitter, for quite a while. And then they made the decision to move Carew to first base, and Bobby got the chance to start. And the manager who made that decision was Gene Mock, and Gene's from Salina originally. So it came full circle. So a lot of Kansas connections.
You imagine for Bobby Randall, I mean, getting drafted right out of high school and saying, from the LA Dodgers, nonetheless. So, I mean, you're like, no. And then again, like you said, later on at K-State and passing up and eventually kind of finding that right time. That's crazy.
Well, it is. And I heard someone told me his first tryout was in jeans, a T-shirt, and tennis shoes. So, but that just tells you how maybe different it was back then. But it's amazing that these small town kids were found all over, like I said, because of the network of minor league baseball and small city baseball. Bobby was telling a story about how some of the bigger schools, I believe he mentioned it was Great Bend and Dodge City, did not have baseball in high school at the time. And many of those programs had Legion or summer ball, so that's how they made up for it. But, Gove, not a lot of people there. And they love their baseball. He talked about how the cars would line the outfield fence with the lights on, and he said it was their Yankee Stadium. Nice. So quite a growth for Bobby to come from Gove to end up in the major leagues. And I'm just so happy we're able to induct him because, like I said before, he is Kansas.
Jeff, good stuff. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thank you.
That is Jeff Bollig, the Vice President for the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, and that'll do it for a Hall of Fame segment as we highlight Bobby Randall.